Good morning, my name is Christy Barreda and I'm a graduate student at the University of Texas at Arlington. Today, I will be conducting a leadership book review for my nursing class, Leadership in Healthcare Organizations. Please know I've provided a copy of my PowerPoint presentation with a notes section for your reference throughout this presentation. The book I'll be reviewing is Fierce Leadership, a bold alternative to the worst best practices of business today by Susan Scott. Susan Scott is the founder of Fierce Inc., a global-wide training company. She's the author of award-winning best-selling books. She has an impressive and diverse list of clients to include Yahoo, Starbucks, Nestle, and Best Buy, just to name a few. She's known for her candid, no-nonsense, tell-it-like-it-is writing style and creative catchphrases. The purpose of this book is to understand the overutilized word best practice and to identify practices that are no longer working for your company or organization and replace them with ones that do. To develop leaders and teach them how to implement best practices that make sense. To lead change and motivate multi-generational workforces. Lead initiatives that affect the top and bottom line simultaneously while producing better outcomes. And finally, to provide tools, techniques, and tips to prepare you for fierce leadership. The target audience is large corporations down to startup companies, small businesses, government agencies, or individuals aspiring to be leaders. This book has many strengths. First of all, it's easy to read. The chapters are organized by leadership topic, and principles can be applied to any size or type of organization. The book describes valuable real-life experiences with specific examples on how to manage and affect change by using interactive tools, tips, and techniques on how to manage professional relationships and performance. And finally, it suggests a new, fresh, and insightful way of looking at leadership while using humor and catchphrases that you remember throughout your career. However, the book does have some shortcomings. Susan Scott is known for her candid honesty. I could see where the tone and approach may seem assertive, especially for the more politically correct. Also, many of her techniques incorporate and encourage emotion and feeling, something that can be viewed as subjective. Although chain of command is mentioned, her views are team-based, encourage open, honest communication while engaging employees whenever possible. These concepts could be perceived as too forward-thinking for organizations who use a more traditional management style. The objectives of the book are to define fierce leadership and discuss techniques that can be used to empower leaders to be fierce while being productive. Scott calls these practices fierce practices and categorizes them into 6 chapters. Fierce Practice 1, 365 face-to-face feedback. Give feedback all year long. Use face-to-face feedback whenever possible. Don't delay. Praise is just as important as criticism. Always be honest. Own your own comments and use 60-second opening statements when in doubt. This is a quick tool to start hard conversations and can be found in her book. Fierce Practice 2, hire smart plus heart. Build a culture of smart and heart employees. Consider emotions. Be likable and have a sense of humor. Be loyal, not only to your patients, but also to your employees. Create a work environment where all employees are included. Be innovative and encouraging. Recognize talent and connect with others. Fierce Model 3, model accountability. Be accountable as a leader. Lead by example. Admit mistakes quickly. Don't point fingers, and don't make excuses. The motto of this chapter, don't talk about it, don't brag about it, just model it. Fierce Practice 4, engaging employees. Stop talk about engaging employees and start engaging employees. Don't hold small private meetings to discuss big problems or issues. Hold big meetings and invite everyone to attend. Customer connectivity. Connect with your customers even if it's uncomfortable. Integrate reality. Share examples. Learn about their needs and goals. Tackle tough subjects honestly. Invest in them intellectually and emotionally. And number 6, use open book management. Give employees relevant financial information. Teach them how to understand it and allow them to assume a responsibility for their departments. This was a great book. I would highly recommend it for anyone from top corporate executives to small business managers and any individuals aspiring to be a leader for all occupations and aspects of business. It's easy to read and filled with techniques and tips for success. The author achieves the objectives of the book by giving real-life examples, recommending exercises to get started, and providing specific action items. These action items engage and entertain the reader, promote honest and candid dialogue, empower people to ask questions, teach that best practices are sometimes not the best but the worst practices, and finally provides insight on how to connect with people by stressing that building a relationship is the key to effective leadership. This book was filled with helpful lists, evaluations, techniques, questionnaires to get the reader thinking. One suggestion for future action would be to create a fierce, all-encompassing workbook. One book that includes all resources and tools from all 3 best-selling books. The workbook could complement her foundational workshop, which can be learned more about by visiting her website at www.fierceinc.com. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share my book review. I'm happy to answer any questions at this time.